If you've ever been in Texas, you probably know what this is. The staple of the beef state, heard Chuck Norris eats it. This brisket is life in the Lone Star State, but it can get pretty tricky, so let me show you how to make for the brisket. For the brisket. One whole beef brisket with fat cap trimmed to about 1/4 inch. 1/4 cup kosher salt, 1/4 cup freshly ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, Mesquite Wood chips or chunks, water or apple juice for the smoker's water pan. This is brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Trim the brisket to remove any silver skin, the hard fat, leave about 1/4 inch of the fat cap to keep the meat moist during smoking. In a small bowl, mix the kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Season the brisket on all sides with the rub, pressing it into the meat. Let the seasoned brisket sit at room temperature while you prepare the smoker. This is brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Preheat your smoker to 250 degrees. Use a smoker that allows for indirect heat cooking. Add your choice of wood chips or chunks to the smoker for flavor. Fill the water pan with apple juice to maintain moisture in the smoker. This brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Place the brisket on the smoker, grate through the fat cap up the base the meat as it cooks. Close the lid and maintain a consistent temperature of 250 degrees throughout the smoking process. Smoke the brisket until it reaches an internal temperature of 65 degrees, which will take about 8 hours, depending on the size of the brisket. This brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Once the brisket reaches 65 degrees, remove it from the smoker. Wrap it tightly in butcher paper or aluminum foil to prevent it from drying out and to help it cook faster through the stall. A phase where the meat's temperature plateaus. Return the wrapped brisket to the smoker. This is brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Continue smoking the brisket until it reaches an internal temperature of 205 degrees, which will take an additional 5 hours. Use a meat thermometer to check the temperature in the thickest part of the brisket. This brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue. Once the brisket reaches the desired internal temperature, remove it from the smoker, let it rest, still wrapped in a cooler or in place for at least 1 hour. This helps redistribute the juices throughout the meat, making it more tender and flavorful. This is brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce. Unwrap the brisket and place it on a cutting board. Slice it into grain into 1/4 inch thick slices for the flat part, thicker slices for the point part. This is brisket, the best Texas rite of passage, service law. In beans, this meat, it ain't your average. If daddy all alone, looking lost in his thoughts, he's thinking about brisket and that barbecue sauce.